Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Dave's RC here, guys. Fly free or die. How you guys doing tonight? So yeah, guys, like I said, every week, once a week, if we can, we're gonna get somebody new, up and coming YouTuber, or it doesn't even matter if you're a YouTuber or not. As long as you can get Skype, we'll get you in here and we'll get you on. But tonight, not only do we have Shadow Ops as usual, he's always here with me, but we have LJ Hobby. Did I get that right? It's LJ Hobby? LJ Hobby. Yeah. We got LJ Hobby in the house, former vet, or actually he's still in. You're still active, right? Active Reserve or National Guard?
AGR.
Okay, so yeah, he's actually still active, you guys. So that's cool, man. But Eric, do you got us full screen now? Do you have us?
Yeah, we're up.
We're up. All right. I'm gonna grab my phone. LJ, introduce yourself, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey man, here, LJ Hobby Life. My name's Lewis. I love this hobby as much as you guys. I love to fly. Anything RC though. So I'm always watching everything, you know, from all the channels that Pat Ryan does and everybody. I just enjoy this hobby, man. Like overall, like, you know, I've been in the Army like 18 years, so this kind of stuff just like, when I'm doing this, that's all I think about is this, you know. So I like tinkering, I like building stuff, you know, so it's just fun.
I see a Havoc up over your right shoulder.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know,
yours isn't crashed.
Hey, you know what's funny about that though? That was I was at the flying field where I fly, and a gentleman told me that man, you might not want to buy that one yet, you know, because it'll snap on you or whatever. And I said, all right, hold my beer real quick. And so the next day I ordered one, and I took it up the next weekend. I had to see if it was really going to snap and crash on me. But after about 12 flights, it's still good. It's still up there.
At least you didn't explode your EDF in yours.
Yeah, no. So mine was fine until
the tree went in it.
Until I put it into the tree. I just had no depth perception. I don't know what the hell was going on with me that day, man. I don't even know. I can't remember if I was wearing my glasses or not. I think I might not have been, because that's when I really can't judge depth. But I was pretty sure I was in front of the tree. I was in between the tree and the Jeep, and then all of a sudden you just hear the branches. Yeah, that's it. It's in the tree. That took us all night to get that damn thing out of the tree, bro. It was like we were pushing like negative 20 degrees that night. And that poor dude that owned that house, man, no bullshit. He sat out there with me the whole night brainstorming, trying to get that plane out of the tree. While I was sitting there trying to keep the throttle up and keep the motor going so that way I could drain the battery. So the battery wasn't sitting up there live, you know what I mean? Because what happens is when you lose radio connection with a Tactic, it will literally send the motor to full speed, and it would have just sat there for, I don't know, a good 10, 15, 20 minutes, just and no fan blades on the blades, so it's just making that really high winding sound. Absolutely ridiculous, man. I never want to ever get a plane stuck in a tree again. I would much rather just put it right into the ground rather than put one in the tree again. That was humiliating.
I saw that whole video. I mean, hey, I put that Commander up there's been on a tree before. I got that one out of a tree in front of somebody's house too. It was horrible.
What is that right up above your head? Is that E-Flight plane there? You painted it?
Which one? This one?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's a C-130 from Avios.
Oh yeah, so that's an Avio C-130. Okay.
Oh, okay, all right.
Really skeleton bird. Hopefully you've had okay luck with it.
Man, I haven't even flown that. I've flown everything else in this garage, and you know, I used to be at Bragg, so I used to jump out of these things, so I bought one for that particular purpose, right? And I kind of haven't wanted to fly it. I don't know why. I just like it hanging there. It looks cool.
Great plane. Yeah. The real one's a great plane, but catch me ever on one again? Oh no. I've flown too many times in one, nut to butt. No more.
He spent his time at Fort Bragg.
Oh yeah, yeah, 4 horrible years there, but yeah,
he's airborne. Yeah, he had to stop doing it because he got a little too heavy, man. Got a little too heavy to be jumping out of planes.
Well,
He's a big boy, man. It took him a long time to lose that weight in basic training in AIT, but then once he got home and he got to go to that new chow hall, the one that you don't have in basic training in AIT. Well, AIT was actually a pretty decent chow.
Yeah. AITs usually aren't too bad. It's basic where you only eat so you don't starve.
I was on a CD base, so I actually ate in the Navy chow hall, which was great. They have good chow.
Yeah, they have to feed their guys good because they're stuck on ships all the time.
Or we gotta have something, you know. Hey Dave, that where you got that Havoc stuck, that road, that's where that infraction needs to go on that big pinion.
That's a good idea.
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah, bro. That's where it needs to go. We need to see that 80-mile-an-hour pool on. You know,
so I did find a parking lot. I found a parking lot. It's literally it's not that far away. It's the what do they call that place? The Lions Club or whatever. That's what they call it here. It's called the Lions Club. It's just where like old people get together and go drink and do karaoke and stuff. But dude, this is a flat parking lot. There's no curbs, no nothing. And if you do run off of the blacktop, it's just grass. So there's no obstructions. So yeah, I need to change out that pinion gear. Well, actually, I want to try it first because I've only had it on the lowest speed on the radio. I need to turn it all the way up and get out to that paved runway. I just got my new batteries. I took the Raptor out. I got the Raptor all ready to go again. I'm gonna go fly that Raptor. I wanted to try to get a video of the Raptor kind of coming in on a low pass and having that infraction scoot up under it. Oh, you know, just kind of blaze under the Raptor as it's coming in for a low pass over the blacktop over there where I fly. But it's gonna take Kyle, me, and a cameraman to get that done. So, but yeah, I'm gonna rip that thing, dude. I promise you, I'm gonna rip that thing. I don't want to put it into a curve. That's an expensive truck, bro. That truck's expensive, man.
Oh yeah.
Hey, back there, where's that over on this side? The Creighton's back there.
Those aren't cheap either.
Is that the 8S Creighton?
No, that's the EXB, the Extreme Bash one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got 58 miles an hour out of it with a 2200 kV and a 13 tooth. So I was actually gonna bump it up a little bit and see. 58.
58.
Yeah,
that's
actually not bad.
13 tooth.
Did you just go with the recommended power setup in it?
The what?
Did you just because you said you got the XB?
I didn't hear you there. Yeah, the EXB. I had some electronics. I cannibalized a Kyosho street car that I had, and I just put it all in that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm just now looking behind you, LJ, man. I actually see a lot of RC cars, man. So you're into the cars.
Yeah, he posts a lot on Instagram, Dave.
They're all over the place, right? So I got planes like on this side.
Damn, man.
Him and I actually chat quite a bit on Instagram because he posts a lot of different stuff on Instagram.
How you like that L39, bro?
You know, so I bought that thing crashed from a guy. I fixed it, and it flies good. You know, but to be honest, there's other jets out there that, in my opinion, fly more trainerish than that one. You know, maybe it's because that one had so much hot glue.
You had to do a weight to it.
Yeah, man.
I don't know, man. When I flew the Avani for the first time, that thing was so snappy. You really had to turn that thing down, man. Like the ailerons, when I went go into my first bank for my first turn ever in the Avani, the thing almost did a barrel roll. That's how fast them ailerons were going. So you have to turn them things down right away. I didn't notice that with the L39 though. The L39, I pretty much left it at like 80 on the wings, like 25% expo. And that thing's perfect. I still have that thing right in. I don't even have any. I have low rates on my L39, but I never use them. It's 80 and 80. I got 80 on the wings, 80 on the tail. That thing it flies pretty damn good right there. I'm not understanding you, man, because that thing flies really good, man. That thing flies so good, man. Maybe the aerodynamics are messed up on it.
You know, no, I'm not saying it flies bad, but like, my opinion, right, is so the Bayhawk flies amazing, right? So to me, that's an easier trainer. Yeah. And what else? You know, it's funny that dang F-18, the FMS one, man, that thing from the get-go was amazing. And the F-22 Raptor, I got it up in my bedroom. I love that plane. That thing, from my first flight, it just went up, shoot, and I made a quick turn, and it didn't need nothing. I felt like I'd been flying it for years, you know. So this thing, I kind of struggled with it when I first took it up, but then again, it could have been the hot glue. So I mean. You know?
It might have been. No, I mean, you know, everybody has their preferences on what they like and how they fly. You know what I mean? So, if you ever flown the 64 millimeter Panther, right?
No.
That L-39.
That's the one that Dave learned on. Is that Panther?
That L-39 flies just like the Panther. It's got the same flight characteristics. It's got the same tendencies where the tail kind of sinks. You know what I mean? If you had to hand launch that plane, I bet you it would sink in the tail just like that Panther. But when I first took off with that L-39, I was like, this thing feels just like the Panther, bro. It flies just like the Panther. And then you start looking at the two side by side. They're actually shaped exactly the same too, almost. I mean. The Panther's got a little bit more rounded nose, but it's got the straight wings. It's got the tanks on the ends. It's got the elevator that lays on the body and not up in the air like a MiG would have it on the vertical stab. It's down on the body. So a lot of that thing. Well, it's not quite down on the body, but I'm telling you that Panther and that L-39, they are very similar, man. They fly very similar. So I think that's why I had a better time with the L-39 because of that the fact that it did fly a lot like the Panther. I pretty much learned on that.
And I've flown it. I got about maybe like 15 flights on it now, and so I've gotten real used to it. Like if I'm take with me, so that way I feel comfortable. Or even the E-flite, the F-16, that thing's pretty nice.
See, I don't have any of the E-flite. I don't have the E-flite. The F-16s that I have, I've got. I think they're both free wings.
Yes, yours are. You have the original wiggle butt one that was all glued together.
Yeah, that's the thrust vectoring one. I have the thrust vectoring one, and then I got the version 2 one back there. But when I bought it, the version 2 didn't come with the upgraded retracts. You actually had to buy those separately and put them in. So
and they still sold the 4S version too, which they don't sell anymore.
Yeah, that's that one, the wiggle butt one. That's a 4S version right there. And I'm telling you right now, that thing flies really, really good. It's got fixed landing gear, but
super light though. So
super
it's okay
light,
with
right?
that power
4S,
system.
That thing cranks on 4S, man. I don't care what anybody says. That plane actually does quite well on 4S, man. It's when you're flying it, you almost think it's on 6S because of the way it's flying, but it's not. It's actually
that's because that older one was the EPS, I believe, with that coffee cup styrofoam.
Yep. It's EPS foam, dude. It definitely is EPS.
So it's super light. Just really light. Super fragile being that type of phone.
So nothing horrible's happened with your Havoc, huh? You've had pretty decent luck with your Havoc?
Yeah, man. It just flies good, you know, for the most part. I mean, you know, when you're flying that thing and you're coming in for landing, a lot of other planes, you know, you kind of got to keep a little throttle going. With that one, I just cut the throttle all the way. I just cut it and it just flies right in.
Well, that's what I was doing until the tree took it. It was coming in on a dead stick, man. And then I was like, you know, there was no more fan. I couldn't hear the fan. And then you hear the branches. I was like, oh, I saw it disappear behind the tree. And I was like, yeah, it's over. Game over.
That was one of your first flights at the new place too, wasn't it? Or was it still over at the park?
That was my first. I believe that was my first jet flight. At that field, and I was flying it on a 6000, a brand new 6000 HRV. So I was mad about that I just put a brand new battery in a tree too. I wasn't really all that upset about the plane. I was actually more mad about the battery, man. Because I don't have a lot of good batteries.
Batteries are like gold.
Yeah, they are, man. When you're in this hobby, man, you need good batteries. You have to have reliable batteries, man. I mean, they're the life of your RC equipment. You know, your planes, your cars, whatever you have. I tell you a plane that I really had a hard time with, man, and I ended up crashing it pretty bad on a takeoff before I actually started getting a little better with it, and that's the Freewing Super Scorpion, that 80 millimeter one. I had troubles with that one, man. That thing, if you don't have the flaps just right, man, she'll roll on you. The flaps will literally make that plane roll right on top, man. And she rolled over so fast on me. I had the flaps down. One may not have been even with the other, and that thing rolled over, almost hit the guy's truck at the AMA field. I brought it home. I glued the nose back on. You can't even tell that it was even in a crash. And then I took it out to my field with a nice strong headwind. And finally, I got the thing to take off, and the damn retract, you know how they don't glue them in very good from the factory. The retract's dangling down the whole time.
Almost nobody does, unfortunately.
I was like, what the hell is that hanging from the plane? So I flicked the retracts again and put them up. It's still hanging. I'm like, damn, man. So I landed the plane, and literally I landed that thing on 2 wheels because the other one was just hanging out the bottom of it. And yeah, man, I was like, damn, so now whenever I get one of these 80 millimeter planes, especially one of the older school ones like the Sabres and the Scorpion, I go in there and I put some nice epoxy in there now, man, because I'm not trusting the retracts anymore. I'm just not doing it. I'm not trusting
that A6 I'm getting from you, that's the same kind of deal. You didn't even really land that hard, but just you were on a rough surface and it popped the nose gear out.
I actually, I had all these planes out earlier, Eric, and I was in that to make sure that they were all working and shit, and everything's good, man. The thing's, it's lively. The only thing you're gonna have to do is fix that front retract, man. It's not that bad.
That's good. That's okay. I'm okay with that. That's basically a brand new plane that I'm getting for a really good deal, so no complaints.
The only thing that I'm looking for now, Eric, is I'm looking for the I have 2 receivers, FrSky receivers, 8-channel receivers, the XR8s or X8RV or whatever they're called.
LJ and everyone else, I'm buying Dave's FrSky stuff because he went all in on Spectrum. So that's
I did. I went all in on Spectrum, and Kenny really kicked my ass for that, man. Kenny's like, "What are you doing, man?" He's like, "You got a beautiful radio there, man. Use it." I don't like the way it feels in my hand. It's super bulky. And then Kenny was telling me, "Oh, Dave, they made another version. It's smaller, and it can fit in your hands better." And I'm like, Jesus, I've already got like 6 radios, man. I gotta get them out of here, man.
My QX7 fits in your hands good.
I use my FrSky for the quadcopters, for FPVing and stuff like that. So
that's what they're really popular with, the FrSky. And I see a lot of people that are using quadcopters and race quads and stuff like that. They're using the FrSky stuff, the XR7 there or whatever it is.
That's one of the reasons why I went FrSky is because I'm going to do quads too, not just planes. So.
Yeah, man. So we got a couple of projects that we're working on right now, you guys. Trying to get this this F-18. I got the new fuselage over here. I got the blue board pulled out of the old one. I'm starting to set it up in the new fuselage. I want to get that done, man. I really want to get back out and fly that plane. I probably should have flown it that day and not Tyler. I have the footage of the crash, you guys, but I don't want to put it up until I actually do the maiden flight, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that clip of the plane crashing up first, and then a few clips of me rebuilding it and putting it back together, and then go out and we're going to do a proper maiden flight. If he had more experience off the ground, he would have known to just push his nose down a little bit and pick up some speed. But what he did was the nose came up like this, and he just got real nervous and then tried to go into a bank and turn. And the thing just tumbled. That was it. Over. And I even had the gyro up for him and everything, man. He had every benefit that day. The only thing that he didn't have was enough speed. And you guys will see it in the video. It's just not enough speed. Everybody's gonna be like, dude, that's too slow. That's way too slow. You gotta be going much faster than that. I knew that. So I told him, before you cause even more damage, just let the thing go. Just kill the throttle. Let it hit the ground. You can hear me in the background just saying, kill it. Just let it go. Minimal damage, guys. All we did was we broke the nose off the tip of it. It's actually not that bad. It's not bad at all. What's up, man?
Check it. Can you see the chat?
I'm looking at it right now. RC Stinger.
Yeah. Hey, so question.
Go ahead, man.
So Florida, are you really gonna go?
Yeah, I'm going, man. Yeah, I'm definitely in, man. I can't not go now, man. I promised everybody a bunch of weed down there and shit. I gotta go. Hey. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, you guys. Look, I know it's Toys for Tots. I know it's for kids, you guys. I'm not gonna be doing any of that crazy stuff. I'm just talking shit. I'm just trying to have fun with you guys. I'm not saying I'm not bringing anything, but I will not promote it. I'm down there to have some fun, fly some planes, and then me and James, we got this collab thing going on, dude. I guess I'm buying a new L39.
Okay.
And I got to make it. It doesn't actually have to be an L39 either. I'm just gonna do an L39 because that's what his Batman plane is, and then I'm supposed to make a Joker plane with Harley Quinn in the back and all that shit, whatever. So it's gonna be pretty sick, man. The fuel tanks, we decided instead of having fuel tanks on there, we're gonna make them Harley Quinn's hammers. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I'm gonna just out of PVC pipe and some and just some other stuff. I'm gonna make Harley Quinn's hammers, her sledgehammer, and then those are gonna be the fuel tanks, dude. It's gonna be so sick, man. It's gonna be nice, man. I've already looked up all the color palettes and color custom colors for both of them. Harley Quinn's color palette isn't very good, but Joker, he's got some really vibrant stuff going on. So I think the base of the plane is gonna be a lot of the Joker, and that's it. Harley Quinn's colors are very, very light. They're faded, kind of pinks and yellows and grays and stuff. And then you got the Joker's color palette, which is like bright purple, light purple, green, this light green. There's just so much more to it. Red, like a dark like crimson red with like a Russian red. So yeah, we're gonna go with that. It should be pretty cool, man. That's gonna be a nice collab video between me and James, man. I was pretty stoked to actually jump in and do the project with him. So
that sounds fun, man. I'm gonna make it down there for that. I'm actually gonna drive because I'm from Orlando, Florida. That's where I grew up. So Thanksgiving week, I'm just gonna go down there like a week before, and then me and my buddy in Florida, we're always buying planes down there. So I sell him the money, and then he just drops them off at my mom's house. So I have like 5 or 6 planes at my mom's house. An F-86. I got an F-4 Phantom. I got all kind of stuff out there. So
really,
out there, bring some batteries in my remote, and meet some of you guys out there. You know,
that's what I got to do, man. I gotta like send some planes to Bitco Bobby or Pilot Ryan, so that when they do jet jams, they can just throw my planes in the truck and I can just fly down instead of driving down again. Do the same thing with Mary Boozer. Have Mary Boozer hold on to a few planes for me, and then when I go down to do any Florida stuff, I can just grab my stuff from Boozer or something.
How long of a drive from San Antonio to Florida is it?
It's like 17 or 18 hours, but I've done it a few times now because
most of that's in Texas too, isn't it? Because a lot of those other states are really teeny.
Wait a minute, LJ, where the hell are you, man? Where are you at?
San Antonio.
Texas?
Yeah, man.
Texas?
Yeah.
Oh,
man.
shit, man. Montana and Texas, the only states that you can drive from dusk till dawn and still be in the goddamn state.
Yep.
Texas is no joke. Like, yeah, but Florida's bad too, because when you hit the Panhandle, right?
It's super long, right?
Yeah, really
It's like 7 hours just from the Panhandle all the way down to Orlando, where I'm from. So
I think it's like 2.5 or 3.5, maybe even 4 hours from the Panhandle all the way over to Tallahassee, or not Tallahassee, but Jacksonville. It might be like a 4-hour ride from there to there, because I remember I had to drive from Gulfport, Mississippi down to Orlando. Yeah. And I believe that took me, man, I want to say it was like at least 6 hours.
Yeah, if not, yeah, well,
7 hours.
It takes me like 17 or 18 from San Antonio, so it ain't too bad though.
That's not bad. It's going to be 20. From my house to Florida, just to get to Florida, just to cross the border, is 21 hours.
Oh dang!
So it's gonna be a lot longer drive than it was from here to Indiana, but there's more to see. There's more to see when you're going from Maine to Florida. There was really nothing to look at going from Maine to Indiana. Pittsburgh was probably the biggest and best thing that I saw. Pittsburgh. That was actually.
From here to Orlando, man, there's nothing. Like, I mean, you hit Louisiana and it's like, oh man, and then it's Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, And then the Panhandle, there's really nothing. There's just tree.
Yeah, right. Yep. There is nothing in the Panhandle, man. And unless you get off the highway and you go towards the beaches, heading south. Yep.
Yeah.
So real quick, guys, a couple of PayPals just came through. Also, RC Stinger left a $5 super chat, man.
He said check your PayPal too.
That's from New Zealand. So $5 New Zealand money. That's like $100 US, bro. So
check your PayPal too, I believe he said, Battle.
PayPal 25. There you go. Okay, yep.
So LJ knows what we're talking about with calling each other Battle.
Yeah, man. So back in 05, that's definitely something that you guys did back then, man. You had to. I mean, that's.
Oh yeah.
You guys still do it? Do they still do it, LJ?
Man, they do. But you know, it's funny. Last time I was at with Chuka like a year ago, they gave me this whole big warning about what to call the soldiers. I can't call them private no more because that's derogatory, you know, or whatever.
My God.
So I gotta call him soldier last name, you know. So, you know.
Oh my God!
You have to call a private soldier. Then why don't they just change the name of the rank then?
I think that's just how it is out there. I don't know if that's every post, but when I went out there, they gave me like a big. They gave us all like they pulled us all into the office, you know, and gave us our welcome brief, and that's one of the basic things they said. Hey, you guys just keep it to that. And I said, all right, cool. I just don't mess with nobody, you know. I just go do my job, do what they ask me to do, and
bro, I was the same way in the military, bro. I didn't want anybody to mess with me, and I didn't want to mess with anybody. I always told myself the day I make sergeant, bro, I would never make anybody drop and do push-ups ever. Yeah. That wouldn't be me. I don't even care how bad you messed up. Well, unless I was being critiqued by a higher, you know, rank, and they were like watching me like a vulture, making sure I'm doing my job the right way. But other than that, bro, I just wouldn't have made a good sergeant, bro, 'cause I'm too goddamn nice.
No, but you know what? That's how I am. Like, for the most part, I've made people push out of joking. I've never done it, like, seriously.
And then I would go down and push with them, right? Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
But it's most of the time out of a joke. Like, the only 2 times I've ever been mad is one time this E5 or this corporal pulled rank on an E4 in front of me. This happened about a year and a half ago, and I lost my shit. I was like, oh. And it was all because the specialist was so smart at his job, and he was just getting it done. And he asked him a dumb question, so the specialist kind of came back with like, you know, you asked me a dumb question, I'm going to give you a dumb answer. So he did, and the corporal tried to lock him up, and I was like, oh, hell no.
What?
Bro, not in front of that happening.
Goddamn junior NCOs, man. Like, just because they gave you some stripes, bro, you're still an E4, bro. You're still an E4. This dude's probably like an E4, like -6 or something. You know, he's passed up on sergeant for like 6 years, bro. Yeah. This new corporal comes in, tries making him do push-ups.
You know, it's funny because like as an instructor, I'm not one of those dudes that think I know it all. So when I go in and I get somebody that knows more, you know, on break I go pick his brain, like, hey man, where you done this and stuff like that.
Right,
you know?
right, exactly.
So he was one of those dudes, and so I kind of liked him because every time I would go up to JBLM up there in Washington. Me and him would talk a bunch about, like, you know, because he was, you know, I've been doing this for 18 years, and this guy's been in like 4, and he knows about as much as I do. So there's things that he knows that I don't know. So I'm picking his brain left and right. And when this other guy went at him, I was like, oh, heck no, man. You're not going to pick out my favorite specialist, man.
Right.
Yeah, right. You know how much, yeah, dude. Yeah, exactly, man. That's cool, man. That's cool, man. Yeah, man, I was just thinking of this the other day. If I had stayed in and, I hadn't gotten injured and hurt myself, dude, I would be retiring. I'd be retiring, dude.
Yeah.
I went in and when did I go in? I went in 99. So I'd be retired this year, guy. I would have retired already. I would have retired. I'd have had my 20 years.
Let's see here.
Oh, so you joined in 99?
In 1999, April of 1999. Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
I actually got out of high school a little early. They because I was going in the military. My parents. So what I did is the way they used to do it. The way that you could do it back then is if you were 17, your parents could actually sign you in, and you could go swear in and do basic training 1 year, and then next year you could do AIT right after you graduated. Well, I graduated early. I took a test, got my last few credits. And instead of staying around and walking with my class, I actually just went straight in the military. So by April, I was already in AIT. Well, basic training in AIT. I started to AIT in July and of the following year. But the year before that, it was April. It was my my 18th birthday, and I was already in basic training, man. Scared to death, bro. I was scared to death, man. I was just a kid, man. Yeah, you're in school doing, you know, trying to catch all them girls, and now all of a sudden
get screamed at.
Oh my God, getting yelled at, man. I was terrified, man. I was terrified.
So
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, before we get too carried away, I kind of already answered Phoneboy's question, Dave, but he asked, because the EC1500 and the Havoc are both really good price right now. The EC1500's $300 and the Havoc is $270 or $277, I believe. And he's wondering, you know, which would be you would go with. And I told him in the chat, since I'm running your chat, the EC1500, you can fly more places. It's a more relaxing flight, but it comes down to if you want another jet or not.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Because if he's experienced with the jets and he don't have a Havoc, you gotta have one of those things, man. Those things are badass. But like you said, though, the EC1500 seems like a easier bird to fly. You know, you can fly, like you said, in a lot more places. So depends on what he's got to fly at and what he's flown before.
I like the Havoc. I already sent that off to the boys. I don't know if I'll ever pick up another Havoc.
Come on.
But what I did was I bought this orange Super Scorpion behind me. I bought this to kind of replace the Havoc. And I tell you what, man.
You're fine.
This thing flies awesome, man. It's probably one of the nicest, smoothest flying planes I've ever flown, man. It's like a Cadillac, man. And it's a 90 mil too, which I like a lot. I'm trying to fix this up. As you can see, I got spackle on it right now. I'm trying to fill in all the dents that the meathead neighbor did when he was moving that box around downstairs. I got to do something with the hinge back here. It's a nice plane, man. That thing flies so good. It's got the it's actually that has the stock servo in it, but it actually the stock ESC, but it actually has a it's got a flex jet fan.
You guys, he's trying to give me the hint, like take me to do something, but he can wait.
Don't say the word.
No, that's what I can't even spell it.
Spell it in my house.
Here either, so.
All right, so a couple shout outs here, guys. RC Stinger, combined super chat just sent in like $15. We'll just call it $15. Mr. George Watts, of course, on cue with his $25 super chat, man. And then Jermaine Spencer. Jermaine always sends like weird numbers. I'll call it $10, but he $9.41. Him and Pilot Ryan always sending in them weird numbers, man. It's funny. So I'll tally up everything after the show tonight, and then next week when we start the show next week, I'll give you guys a total of where we're at for. This would be next month's giveaway, because this month's giveaway is already done. So this would be for next month's giveaway, you guys. But all I can tell you guys is it's looking really, really pretty darn good so far, man. You guys. For those of you guys that don't and can't send super chats, well understood, man. I get it. But you guys should really be thanking these guys that are sending super chats in, because I'm telling you right now, man, without these guys, these giveaways wouldn't be nearly as good as they are, man. George Watts, huge contributor. David Snyder, huge contributor. I was just looking at someone else's name today too that is a really big contributor. I can't think of his name right now. It'll come to me by the end of the show, because I need to give him a shout out, because he's also a good contributor as well. Spencer Keith is a good contributor. You guys, these guys are paving the way for these giveaways. So make sure you guys give them a lot of love, a lot of emojis in the chat, because like I said, without these guys doing these donations, you guys, the giveaways just wouldn't be as good as what they have been lately. So make sure you guys show them some love, man, because they make the giveaway. They actually make the giveaway what it is.
Joseph Youngblood is right. He didn't know about the cell, and he said, there goes my wallet.
Tell me about it. Hey, I'm on the. I went to.
We're gonna have him say that again because he broke up a little bit.
Yeah, that's all internet right there. So.
We'll just wait until it clears up, and we'll have him say that again. You guys just.
Could you repeat what you were saying, LJ?
Say that again. Huh? Say that again, LJ, because you broke up. You broke up pretty good.
Oh no, I was just it's all frozen up. On my side.
We can hear you. Okay. You were talking about the cell, and we were saying how Joseph was saying his wallet is going to be toast now.
Oh, okay. So actually, bro. Jermaine actually just showed me what he sent. Jermaine actually just sent. He sent me his receipt. It says 10. For whatever reason, Jermaine, here, let me.
Oh, we just lost LJ, so I'll try to get him back. Just keep talking.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we'll get him back. For whatever reason, here I'll show you. I'll show you real quick, Jermaine. While I got you here, I'll show you my PayPal account real quick.
All good, LJ. Don't worry. It can be any one of our networks. So, but we got you back. So.
David Snyder, that's the one, and he just sent a super chat, $50, you guys. That's the other person I was thinking of, guys. David Snyder, huge contributor, you guys. This guy is always dropping 50 bombs, dude, 50 bombs. So here, I'm gonna go to Jermaine. Where's Jermaine at? Where did Jermaine go? Jermaine, right there. Okay, Jermaine, here you are, right here, bud. Here, I'm not gonna show any of your information, but if you can see the amount there.
Oh, there we go.
I don't know if you can see that, but you see how it says. You see how it says that right there? There you go. I don't know why it does that. That might be your fee for sending it or something. I don't know. So if you send,
I do know if you don't go bank to bank and you're just sending the money, they do charge a fee. That could be it. The last time I sent you a little bit of money, Dave, when I sent it to your bank instead of, come on, Brandon.
Oh, we had 2 super chats come in, you guys. I think that's Deuces Wild and Nate Kugel. Thank you guys so much, you guys. $10 a piece, you guys. Check this out. So the other guy that I wanted to tell you guys, Michael Covington. That's the other guy that's usually doing super chat. Dude, such an awesome guy, man. Like I said, you guys, these are the guys that make these super chats roll, man. Super nice guys, man. Always willing to help out the community with these giveaways, man. That's awesome. And you guys, I appreciate everything you guys send. It makes it a lot easier on me when I have some help to do these giveaways. Before I was doing these giveaways out of my pocket, you guys, I wasn't getting help for nothing, man. Everything was coming out of my pocket, right out of my military pension, you guys. And it really, really feels good to be able to still take what I give and add it to what you guys have so we can have these badass giveaways, man. I mean, just a ridiculous giveaway last month. I just want to say that was the biggest giveaway I've ever done on my channel, you guys. And I was proud to do it, man. I was happy to do it. Such an awesome time. I have a lot of fun doing that. I get more out of giving something to you guys than I do going and getting myself something, you guys. I always feel it makes me a lot happier when I can give something away and make somebody else happy, especially when whoever wins, if that person really doesn't have a lot of resources or have a lot, that actually makes me extra happy when I know that we've given something to somebody who doesn't have a lot. That makes me so much more happier.
So we got a question for LJ. It says, LJ, any new projects by Soys1?
Yeah, man. I got a few projects. Today I was actually working on it's like an old bruiser, but I guess you can get them from Banggood, whatever. It's like a clone or whatever. But I've been working on that all day today. I've been painting it and doing all that stuff to it. And then I still got Goonex Afterburner to put on my F4 that's sitting on top of my sitting right up there on top of the car. So
that's the old intake. What was that? That was the E-Flight. What was that? An E-Flight F4?
Yeah, the F4. Yeah, the E-flite F4. I got
Guniak sent me center burners, you guys. I actually bought a couple. He sent me one or two. Guniak, don't get mad at me because you haven't seen a center burner in any of my videos yet. I have them in the planes. I just when I did the maiden on the F7 or the on the MiG-17 back there, we actually messed up the wing on the landing. The next flight that I was going to do on it, I was going to activate the center burner that's in it. And then we also have the ones that are going in the PACFA, and the PACFA is not quite ready to go yet. So I will be showing off your center burners as soon as I get these planes fixed and get them back in the air again, man. So don't take it personal, bro. It's just because the planes that I have them in, they're just not ready for flight yet. I have to do some work on them. I have to fix them.
Don't forget you rolled Kenny's PayPal from last month because it was past the time to this month for the giveaway.
I added that in. Yeah, I already added that in from last week. And also Pilot Ryan's money got rolled over too. So,
but he's one that, basically donated some money. So he definitely needs a shout out to you.
So Kenny, is he in here right now? Hangar 51, is he in here? I'm going back in the chat.
Mr. Bus Driver is in the chat.
All right, so Mr. Bus Driver, what was the verdict on the T-33? Are they going to get you taken care of, or is there still some steps to go through? Andrew kind of seemed a little optimistic that you might have a chance at getting a new airframe for the T-33. I just don't know, man. I haven't heard anything back from you. I did hear Eric said that you did talk to him, and there was a couple things that you had to do for him. I just wanted to know if that was going okay and making sure that you get that airframe, man, because I even told Andrew, I said, if there's something that I got to pitch in order for him to get it, I don't mind doing that. He says, no. The whole point of this is that Free Wing will cover it if it was something that was, defective in the plane. So,
well, and that's basically what they asked him. Like, what Kenny was telling me basically was that he had to plug it in to see what it was doing, because if it was a fell electronic, it would still be doing it. So they wanted him to, even though it's in pieces, plug it in and see what's going on.
Paul, I'm sorry. Yes, they are called fiery booties. Sorry, they're not center burners. They are fiery booties. I am so sorry, bro. That's right. Center burners are someone else. That's somebody else's stuff. Yes, fiery booties. They are fiery booties. And I'm telling you right now, I have them in 3 planes, you guys. And it just so happens that those 3 planes, they're just being worked on. That's all. We're going to get them up. Don't you worry, man. We're going to get those planes up. Ray, you were supposed to send me a fiery booty for my P-51, man. What's up with that?
So, everybody, if you're in Instagram a lot, too, check out LJ on Instagram, too. He posts a lot on Instagram as well. Same name as in YouTube, LJ Hobby Life.
I got a quick question. Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Go ahead, you're good. I was just promoting you on Instagram too, not just YouTube.
I've got that plane. Is that which one is that?
This is the Huff. This is one of the old E-flite like fiberglass composites, and I want to know.
Oh yes.
This thing.
What is that, a 70 mil?
No, I think it's like a 64. It's old, man. I got this from a buddy of mine, and I was fixing some planes for him, and so I traded him something, and he's like, "Hey, man, you want this old F4 from E-flite or F86?" And I said, "Sure," but I don't want to fly it because it's like old and it's cool and it's fiberglass and wood.
I wouldn't want to fly it either, bro. I don't blame you.
Man, look at this thing. Look at the graphics on that thing. That thing is awesome.
Dude, that is nice, man. I like when you first started holding that up. I'm like, it's too big to be a 64 millimeter from motion.
That's the hard part when you get those older birds. Like, even if they'll fly great, you're worried about flying them because if you crash it, good luck finding parts.
What does that fly on, bro? Does that fly on 6S or 4S or what?
It's supposed to be on a 4S, according to what I've read.
Okay.
Yeah, and so like I've had it here for a couple months now, and I've just been kind of like weary about flying it because I don't want to crash it. This thing's pretty awesome. You know?
I wouldn't want to fly that either, bro. That's like a relic. That's a relic
right?
In the RC community, bro. That's a nice plane, man.
I love it. I just hang it in the garage. It looks cool, you know?
Yeah, it does, man. Like, my Sabre, bro, I've had some pretty bad luck with Sabres, guys. Except for the 64 millimeter. The first 80 millimeter saber that I ever had, guys, I crashed it in the woods. Some punk ass hunter went out there, grabbed the thing before I could get out there to find it, put it in his truck, and then went around the whole neighborhood telling everybody how he threw it in the broke it into pieces and threw it in the trash can. $600 worth of plane there, man. Upgraded ESC, upgraded fan, upgraded upgraded fan and ESC, brand new 4500 battery, brand new battery. It was a brand new 4500 pack that I just got, Admiral pack. So you're looking at, like, with everything that I put in the plane, almost $600 worth of plane. This guy casually going around the neighborhood saying how he threw it in the trash can, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, man. And everybody came to me. Everybody in the neighborhood came to me a few weeks later when I was out flying, and they're like, yeah, man, you know that guy that lives up on the top of the hill up there, right? And I was like, yeah, he's going around the neighborhood bragging about how he threw your plane in the trash can and broke it into pieces and stuff. That's why you couldn't find it out there. Because I've never put a plane in the woods and not been able to find it, guys. I've always been able to find my planes. Always. I don't care how long it takes. I've always been able to find every plane. I've never just lost one in the woods and not been able to find it. But yeah, man, he definitely got a hold of that thing and threw it away. I confronted him one day about it, and boy, he was deny. I'm like, look, man, everybody in the neighborhood came to me and told me, even your sister came to me and told me that that was a low blow and that you shouldn't have done that and stuff like that. How you're bragging to everybody around here that you did it. Oh, I don't know what they're talking about. But here's the thing, guys. How would those people know that I crashed a plane in the woods and that I got picked up by a hunter? Because I didn't do anything to these people. Tell anybody that I crashed an 80 millimeter plane in the woods. I didn't tell them that I crashed a Saber in the woods. They came to me with the information. So he must have done it. He must have said something. He must have said something to that effect. Maybe he didn't find the plane. Maybe he was just talking shit. Maybe the plane's still out there. I don't know. But guys, I was out there for 2 weeks looking for that plane. Rain, snow, shine, it didn't matter, man. I looked in the treetops. I actually even climbed the hunter's tree stand that was out there so that I could get a treetop view, and still nothing, man. I couldn't find that thing for nothing. And, so I honestly believe that he found that plane and he did exactly what he said he did to it, or he kept it and sold it, because if there was no damage to that plane, that was a brand new plane, man. I mean, I couldn't imagine you would take a nice plane like that and just crush it up and throw it in the trash can. I don't believe
that was a Free Wing 81?
That was my first Free Wing 80 millimeter Saber. I have a new one, and it's back there, man. I've got a couple of flights on it now. For whatever reason, man, every time Pilot Ryan said that my elevators might be uneven, he might be right. But every time I come in for a landing with that thing, it always veers off to the left.
That probably is.
When I flare, it always goes poof off to the left. I'm like, well, why is it doing that, man? So I looked at my elevators, and sure enough, the left one was up a little higher than the right one.
And so it was acting like aileron, basically.
Yeah, it was exactly what it was doing. So when I was pulling back on the elevator, when it was flying, you can't really notice it when you're moving around in the air. It's very subtle. But as you're landing and that speed gets lower and you have to use more of the surface to flare, boy, that thing just, and it went off. It always goes off. So I straightened them out, and I haven't flown it since. I'm going to bring that one down to the Boozers event. That's one that I'm going to bring to the Boozer event.
I'm going to bring mine because, like I said, at my mother's house, I got like 5 planes. So that's one of the ones that is down there, my F-86. I always fly it right there in right next to the Orlando International Airport.
Oh, really? Oh, shit. Did you say the airport?
I'm not sure.
That's okay. We'll get him to say it again. We'll get him to say it again.
6S batteries? My bad.
No. That's okay, man. Did you say you fly it next to an airport?
Yeah. There's anybody from Orlando knows that spot there at Southport Park. That's where I used to fly all the time. There's like there's a Southport Park there, and it's everybody goes fly there on Saturdays and Sundays. So I'll go there and yeah. It's right there, like right next to Orlando International Airport. Yeah.
I've been there once. So I went to go visit. So back then I was married to another woman, and I actually went from Orlando. I went from Gulfport, Mississippi to Orlando, where she was doing an internship for college for at Disney. So she was working at Disney as an internship for her college. Now, I was there, and then 2 days into the visit, September 11th, 2001, the towers get hit. I watched it on the news. I'm watching it, and I'm thinking, what movie is this?
It seemed like a movie.
It seemed like a movie. I felt like I was watching a movie. And this girl behind me is like, no, that's the news. This is live. And I'm like, what happened? It's, I'm thinking that maybe, the air, if you've ever flown into New York, they never fly over the towers like that. So there's no reason that a plane should even be anywhere near the tower.
Oh, that airspace is locked down. They won't even, you have to get special permission to even fly commuter helicopters into the buildings like that. And even then, they still fly at rooftop. They don't fly in between or anything.
Yeah, but so it didn't make any sense why there was a plane in the path of the towers. And then all of a sudden, as you're watching, this one's on fire. And then all of a sudden, here comes the other one. Oh, I was like, oh my God, man, this is a terrorist attack, man. Are you serious right now? So the first thing that I did was I called my duty station, and I was like, what do? I got my car in Florida. I said, I'm here on vacation right now. I'm on leave. What should I do? They're like, well, pack your shit up, man. You're going to be on a hot flight pretty soon. So all flights were grounded unless they were military flights. So I had to take a hot flight from Orlando International Airport over to Biloxi International Airport in Gulfport. I had to pick up all my shit, and then I had to take several flights, hot flights, to get to Alaska. That was probably the longest plane rides I have ever been on. I don't know if you guys have ever taken a hot flight before, but those are prop engines.
Yeah, it's loud.
Constantly. Bro, I'm telling you, by the time I landed in Washington before I took the next flight up to Fairbanks, I just felt like I was standing there and my body was shaking.
Yep.
Even though it wasn't, it felt like I was shaking.
Yeah,
just sitting on that damn hot flight for that long, man. Not fun, man. Not fun at all.
So I flew out of Germany in 2010. While I was at Buring, I ripped my chest. It's a funny story. I was just lifting weights. It was nothing crazy. But and I ripped my pec, and so they were like, hey, it's fully torn. So they sent me to like Landstuhl or whatever in Germany. And long story, man, that's a crazy story on its own. But I had to fly on a C-17 for like 13 hours riding sideways. Yes. Put all the beds. You're like,
yeah, that's what it is on C-130 too.
Oh yeah.
You slide forward and back depending on what they're doing. Yeah.
You first get on it for the first time, but then once you're on it for that many hours, you're just like, get me off of this thing.
No, the worst thing is we're about to take off, right? So we take off, and so I was like, you know what? I'll take my hydrocodone, right, for my pain, puts me to sleep, and 2 NyQuil. Next thing you know, we hit birds on the way up, so they go to land, and I'm like a zombie waiting for the next flight because I just took a hydrocodone and some NyQuil. And they're like, nope, get off the plane. We're not leaving today. And I was like, what do you mean we're not leaving today? Like, I'm ready to fly.
Okay, so for those of you guys that don't know, when you get like teeth pulled or you have some type of injury, the military likes to give you hydrocodone and ibuprofen. That's what they give to you, or Percocet.
Motrin is the other one too.
Extra strength Motrin. Yeah, that's pretty much what you're getting from the military, man.
Ranger candy.
And make sure that you tell your chain of command that that's the medication that you're on, because if you guys do a piss test, that will come up hot for a barbiturate opiate. So you don't want to, you need to tell your chain of command that you're on that medication so they can make a note of it. So that way you're not on your way to CID for no reason, man. That happened to me once, man. I came up hot I had my wisdom teeth taken out, because when you do an overseas tour, which they consider Alaska an overseas tour, by the way, that was my first duty station. So when I got there, they wanted to take him beforehand, but they weren't impacted. So they're like, okay, well, when he gets there, then we'll take him out. So they take your wisdom teeth out. Well, I know they did back then anyway. And then they sent me home for like 4 or 5 days. Then I ended up getting dry socket, which means that the clot actually came out of the hole, and now you got air just constantly going down to the nerve that was there, and it hurts like a son of a bitch. So they gave me Percocet, and they gave me Motrin, ibuprofen.
Good old Ranger candy battle.
The old Ranger candy, right? Yeah. So, anyways, when I got back to full duty again, they had a piss test, a surprise piss test for the whole battalion, not just for a platoon, not just for a company, but for the whole battalion. Our whole battalion got hit with a piss test. Well, my piss test came back hot. I never told my chain of command that I was on Percocet. So here I am. Sergeant Carrasco comes down to me. He's like, "Oh, Garrett, man," he says, "unfortunately, you have to go take a trip." And I'm like, "What do you mean, man?" He's like, "I'm sitting here in my Class A's because we actually had a Class A inspection that day, like a knowledge thing. You wear your Class A's and they ask you questions and stuff like that, just basic like Army knowledge and stuff like that." He says, "I know you're dressed to impress, man, but you got to go to CID." And I'm like, "What the hell's CID?" And he's like, "It's the Criminal Investigation Department." And I'm like, what did I do? And he's like, "Well, they'll tell you when you're there. I'm not supposed to discuss anything with you or say anything." So I got there, and they're like, we found opiates in your system." And I'm like, "Opiates?" And I didn't even know what an opiate was, guys. I had no idea what an opiate was. I didn't know that pain medication was an opiate back then. I didn't know that. And they're like, opiate. It's a prescription medication. It's sometimes found in pain medications. It's also in heroin. Heroin is an opiate. And I'm like, "Well, I'm definitely not doing heroin." I said, "I did have my wisdom teeth pulled out, and they put me on Percocet." And he's like, "Well, how long ago was that?" I was like I just started coming back to work. I was like, I was on that stuff for like 3 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah, it'll stay in your system for a little while.
Yeah, so it stayed in my system for a while, and then I got hit with the piss test, and then they're like, "Oh shit." And they're like, "Okay, well, we just got to verify that." So they called they actually called right then and there. They called the hospital on the base, and they got a hold of the dentist department, and they're like, did you prescribe Specialist Garrett such and such and such? And they're like, "Yeah, he was prescribed that. He actually had to come back in for 2 more refills because he got dry socket. So he was on them steadily for like 3 weeks almost." And they're like, "Okay, well, that boy, I was so scared, man. I was so terrified. I was like, bro, I don't ever want to feel that way and it be the real deal, because that's pretty. It'll make a man out of you, man. I'm telling you, it'll put you in your place, man. Because I thought I was in trouble, man. I thought I'd done something wrong, or something from my past came back to haunt me. Some shit that I did when I was a kid or whatever. I'm thinking, God, man, what did they find, man? I did a security clearance when I was in basic training. So I thought that maybe I don't know. I didn't know what it was. I thought I was in some shit. But anyway, it ended up turning out that it was just the medication that was in my system. No big deal. But I was scared out of my mind, guys. I was so scared. And finally I went back, and Sergeant Carrasco's like, "So what happened?" He says, "Usually you don't come back that fast." And I was like, so I got my wisdom teeth pulled out. He's like, "Yeah, dumbass, you're supposed to tell us if they put you on pain medication."
Yeah.
You're supposed to tell us.
If you'd asked me, I would have told you.
Yeah, man. I said, "Do you know what Percocet do to you?" I was sitting on my couch like this for 3 weeks, Sergeant Carrasco. I was out, man. I
had to be out though.
Hey, but imagine that and some NyQuil, and then they turn the plane around. That was hard. They turn the plane around. I'm telling you, we flew up, bird strike, and they turned the plane back around.
Oh my God, man!
When I get to Walter Reed, they were like, "Hey, we're doing hot flight C-130 in a medevac plane all the way down from Walter Reed to Georgia."
Oh.
We stopped 5 times on the way back. I swear they made up airfields to stop and drop off people. I was like, "Are you serious? Can we just get to where I need to be at?" They're like, "No, land." Take horrible.
So yeah, guys. Basically, the moral of this story is that hot flights are not fun. They're not fun. I mean, I guess depending on what kind of plane they have you on, but for the most part, it's going to be like a C-130 or some type of a twin engine prop. One of the planes that I was on, I can't remember what it was. It was just a small twin-engine plane. It looked civilian, but there was military guys flying it. So I'm not sure what that was. But I mean, that could have been just like a spur of the moment protocol thing where they're just trying to get all the soldiers back to their duty stations in case there's some type of real emergency here. Which it was a real emergency. The Twin Towers just got hit. We were just terrorized by whatever, however it happened. I mean, all of us know now that there's some bullshit going on there, but at that time, all the soldiers were pretty scared, man. This seemed like a full-blown terrorist attack. I thought I was going to go in the Army. I was going to be in during peacetime. I was going to do my 4 years. I was going to get out, and I was going to be done. And unfortunately, that's not the way it happened, man. I don't have that kind of luck. I probably screwed everybody over in the military by joining when I did, because if I hadn't joined, the towers probably wouldn't even have gotten hit. That's just the luck that I have, man. That's just the luck that I have. So yeah, pretty scary stuff, man. When you're seeing that shit happen in person, and you're thinking, God, what's my job? I'm in the Army, man. Yeah. What's that mean? That means your ass is gonna be going somewhere, and it's scary. It was a scary thought, man. Because like I said, I thought I was gonna be in peacetime, and that was it. It was gonna be peacetime, and like I said, I was gonna get out. Even my stepdad was like, this is the best time to go in, Dave. If you go in now, we're in a time of peace. Now you go in, you do your 4 years, you get out, and then you're done, and you don't have to see any combat, You don't have to do any of that crap. You don't have to deploy. Boy, was he wrong, man. Boy, was he wrong. He was wrong, so wrong. He actually called me several times before I ended up getting back to Alaska, asking what was going on with me. And I said, even if I did have any information right now, Dad, I wouldn't be allowed to say anything to anybody. This stuff's they're keeping everything pretty secret around here. Like the higher ups aren't even saying anything to like E4 and belows. They're not saying nothing to us. If there is something that's gonna happen, we don't know about it yet. Yeah, they're pretty secretive. If there was anything that was gonna happen, but yeah, man, scary stuff, man. Scary stuff, man. Because you're thinking that I'm not gonna go to war. I'm not gonna see any kind of combat. I'm not gonna have to go into a foreign country and. Boy, that all changes. You're sitting there drinking coffee, getting ready to go on some rides at Disney and see Epcot and shit like that, and then you wake up to see that Twin Towers are being blasted away. People are just flying planes into the Twin Towers. I mean, that's the craziest shit I've ever seen in my entire life, guys. I'm pretty sure that's probably some of the craziest stuff you guys have ever seen as well. I wasn't alive during the 60s.
Yes and no, but... Where as a drone operator, I saw some pretty
alive during the 60s,
crazy
70s,
crap.
and 40s and 50s. I wasn't alive during those days, so I'm saying in my lifetime, the craziest shit I've ever seen. The craziest thing I have ever seen. Who takes a fully loaded, giant, double-decker plane and throws it into a building? George Bush, apparently.
Well, let's not get into that.
Let's not get into that, but old George, let me see. Let's see that golf swing, George. Let's see that golf swing.
And for the record, Battle, they were single-decker, but they were wide body.
They were massive, right? So they were full of fuel, man. Full of fuel.
If I remember right, 757s, which is not extremely huge, but not small either.
So, like, what are those? They would be like your... mid-tier planes?
Bigger than a Airbus 319, which is the one you'll see a lot fly in airports. It's like in between it's similar in size to actually like a DC-10, just narrower.
Huh. So we got Bob. While we have him in here, we got Bob Turner, Grayson's Hobby. Not Grayson's Hobby, the hobby store, guys. He's actually just saying that he didn't know that he shared his name with a hobby company. Yes, you sure do. Actually, I thought you were Grayson's Hobby, and I was gonna do a small little like weird freak out like a girl here. But no, yeah, you do share a name with Grayson's Hobby. Yes. So we need to get Grayson's Hobby and Mr. Bob Turner a blue wrench.
Doing it right now.
And then, guys, what that blue wrench is gonna do is every month I do a giveaway. The first Friday or last Friday, it depends on when it falls, of the month. and we usually do a really big giveaway. We just did an $800 giveaway last month. The month before that, we did a $600 giveaway. Yeah, and then what will happen is if we blue wrench you on the night of the giveaway, you ask Eric. Eric will give you a number. If I don't want him to have to go through all that right now, but he will give you a number on that night, and then that will be your number from here on out, guys. And then if your number is actually pulled during the giveaway, you win whatever it is that's up on the block.
I still don't think I got a number.
Do you not have a number? LJ doesn't have a number? We're going to have to look, man. Because if LJ doesn't have a number, he's been a subscriber for a while. You've been a subscriber for a while, haven't you, man?
Yeah, I think you were like at maybe close to 400 when I first subscribed.
That was a while ago. A couple of years anyway.
Yep.
Everybody's going to see me opening it, but that's okay. They need to see.
I was kidding, bro.
No, I just wanted to double check because.
Man, you're good, bro.
So we have Ron for the Hill. Oh my God, that.
Ron for the Hills Mining.
Wow, man, that's Ron for the Hills.
Ron for the Hills Mining.
So I'm guessing he's probably got some kind of a mining business or something. What do you mine? If you don't mind us asking, and yes, God bless America, man. Thank you so much for that super chat, $5 super chat from Ron. You actually have a mining company, or is that just the name that you came up with?
I don't know. It's a good name though.
Wreckham Roy's is #1, man. If you guys haven't checked out Wreckham Roy's channel, go over and check out Wreckham Roy's channel. You guys will notice that he has a couple of new toys that he just receives from. I think the guy's name's Dave's RC. Yeah, he sent him a couple of nice things.
But he was at his dad's house for a week, so he just now opened it. So.
But before you guys go over there, make sure you guys understand that he bought the FlexJet off me. The other thing that he has, the Timber or whatever, is it a Timber? Is it a Timber? It's a UMX Timber, I think it is. We actually gave that to Mr. Wreckham Roy's because about 8 months ago, his number was sitting on the floor and not in the hat where it was supposed to be. So I just assumed that at any point during that time, his number probably could have been pulled at any one of those giveaways. So me and Eric collabed. We bought him a plane, and he finally has gotten his plane. Mr. Alan Gentry, thank you, sir. $5 super chat, guys. Yeah, you guys are awesome. You guys with these super chats are awesome, man. You guys make the giveaways, and that's special. That should be a special thing for everyone. Wreckham Roy says, "Check 'em, boys."
Sorry, I'm trying to charge some batteries for.
I wish I could
Air
go
Marshal.
fly.
Air Marshal. That's funny that you say that because my dad's also a Navy guy. Both my biological father and my stepfather. My stepfather was in some type of nuclear thing. He worked on the nuclear power systems that were on like submarines and like destroyers and like aircraft carriers. His job was part of that, doing something with the nuclear shit, the nuclear power systems that were on those vessels or whatever. I'm still not a nuclear engineer or something like that. I don't know. I think that's what he did. But my real father was a straight up mechanic, maintenance master chief. He was a mechanic his whole life. Worked on helicopters, S3s, E2s. I want to say that he actually worked on intruders as well, guys. I'm not sure. And then he worked on the Seahawks. The very last thing that he did was he was a senior chief and master chief working on Seahawks, which is actually the Navy's variant of the Black Hawk, you guys. So if you guys didn't know that, now you know. They almost look identical too.
What the
Seahawks and the Black Hawk.
The undercarriage is different, and up until recently, the Seahawk was what you would call a Super Hawk, where it had more power and stuff. But most of the models now have the same motor, so the only difference is like the avionics and the landing gear.
Sorry, guys, I'm trying to charge some batteries for tomorrow morning. I'm gonna go fly.
So what are you going to be flying tomorrow?
I don't know yet. I'm probably gonna take the Havoc out. I'm gonna take that F-18 out again because it was just so fun to fly.
Yep.
And I don't know. I kind of just like I wake up that morning and I ask the wife, "What do you want to film today?" And she'll pick them most of the time.
Oh, bro, that's actually a good idea, man. I should do that instead of me picking a plane, because I'll be like, oh no, I don't want to fly that because I don't want to crash it. I don't want to fly that because I don't want to crash it.
So
yeah, that's a good idea, man. Pick a plane. Pick a plane, any plane. Go fly it.
So real quick, from what David Snyder was saying, they just sent out a service announcement on that new Freewing MiG-29 about the servos, and I guess anybody that's bought one is getting new servos for them. But
I just saw that message from George. What servos for what?
The new Freewing MiG-29.
Oh no. What's wrong with the new Freewing? See, this is why I didn't order one right off the bat. What's wrong with them?
They're sending new servos out, but that's one of the reasons why Spencer was saying he wanted to wait, because he got the first batch of the 90 mil Hornet and had a similar situation. And
yep, and this is why I followed suit with Spencer this time. Me and Spencer had a nice little chat about this last time I talked to Spencer. It's like we both kind of said the same thing. That's why I ended up getting the truck this last month and not the MiG-29 yet, because I actually did. I wanted to see what everybody else's MiG-29 was going to do before I got mine. It's kind of funny though when they do the production model and when James has his, you don't see anything wrong with that one. It's got all the stock gear in it, and theirs just fine. And then all of a sudden they start putting them into production, and now there's all of a sudden a problem with the servo.
Well, it depends on. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying maybe it's just a problem with like one or two, and they're just being safe. You know, I mean.
Well, and they've had a lot of people contact them about having issues with that Hornet. And you can't control sometimes. I mean, they do test stuff in the factory, but who knows? Maybe that servo worked in the factory, but when it that was the last chance it was going to work right when they tested it, and when it comes to you, it's not working.
Okay, so it's just a protocol thing then, right?
Yeah.
It's not really that anything's wrong. It's more of just like
a few people probably
like that, you know. You never know.
Air Marshal, he just left a comment right here, that Navy fighter pilots are a rare breed. The skills that they have to have in landing on aircraft carriers and everything.
For sure.
Helicopter pilots are even more skilled for that.
So real quick, guys, do you guys know the first person to ever land on an aircraft carrier and what plane he landed on the aircraft carrier? First jet, sorry. And what jet he landed on an aircraft carrier? Quick trivia question, if any of you guys know.
No.
Say again?
The first person to ever land a jet engine powered plane on an aircraft carrier. Who was he and what jet was it?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I'd have to look it up.
He's British, so that should give away a couple of things there. Super short guy, really short guy. They actually were supposed to call it off because the waves were too high that day, but he still did it anyways. He said that he told the tower that he was having radio problems, but he actually wasn't. He could hear him loud and clear, but he played it off like he couldn't hear him because he was going to do that landing whether they liked it or not.
Just tell us.
It wasn't an F-84 and it wasn't an F-86.
Although they did have a C version they tested of the F-86, but it never really went into production.
It was one of the first jet engine British. What was one of the first small jet engine British planes that they had? What was it?
The Venom?
The Vampire. Yeah, you're right. There you go, dude. Okay, I'll give you that one.
All right.
It wasn't Chuck. Was it?
He had a nickname. Hold on, I'm actually gonna grab.
Was his last name Brown?
Oh, it wasn't Chuck Yeager.
Was his last name Brown?
I think it was. Hold on, I'm looking it up now. He actually had a nickname.
If that's who I'm thinking of, he actually flew the ME-163 too, right after the war, and said it actually handled really well, but it was kind of bonkers because you're in a flying bomb with the ME-163.
Yes, it was. His name was Eric Winkle.
Brown.
Eric Winkle Brown. That was his nickname, Winkle.
Yep.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, he actually wasn't supposed to land the jet on the aircraft carrier that day. They're like, no, call it off. The seas are too rough. And that son of a gun was like, oh, I can't hear you. And he landed it anyways, guys.
Yeah, he flew at the end of the war, he flew the Me-163. And I'm going to mix the name up, but the other one they were trying at the time, the Volksjäger, I forget the number designation. But that plane was made out of wood, and they had problems with the wings coming off because they didn't have good glue. But he actually flew it, and the one he flew, the wings stayed on, and he said if they had gotten the glue figured out and gotten those in mass production, we would have been in a world of hurt.
Tony Plimpton. Tony Plimpton. Is that a real name, or are you just making shit up, Mr. Proton?
It's Captain. It could be.
Are you just making shit up now?
Your guess is as good as anyone's, Battle.
Right on.
Yes, Eric Winkle Brown. That was his name, you guys. I knew that his last name was Brown, but I had to look to make sure that I was going to have his first name right. I actually did not. I had his first name wrong, and I didn't want to look like an idiot on my own question.
I thought that was his name, but I wasn't sure because I couldn't remember, so I was waiting for you to find the answer.
So Captain Brown of the British Air Force. So yeah, guys, and then he also went on to do test piloting for the Hawker Hunter. Before that, he was a test pilot for the Tempest 5, the Tempest 2, the Hurricane. I mean, he did a lot of stuff, you guys.
Well, if you remember...
No, not the Hurricane. Not the Hurricane. Sorry. Not the Hurricane.
They had the first... the British were trying to break the sound barrier with the Sweet Wing version of the Vampire, and it actually killed the guy that started de Havilland aircraft. And Eric Brown actually flew that same bird, and he said, like, when you approach the speed of sound, because they didn't have the aerodynamics right, it literally would...
It started... Yeah, he's right. Yeah, Eric, yeah, go ahead, finish the story. Yes, but you're absolutely right.
And what saved Eric Brown was he's a shorter guy, and so, and he just let off the throttle, and once he got in a... I mean, he's able to recover, but with Jeffrey de Havilland, the problem with him is he was over 6 feet tall, and they think he hit either
snap forward.
He either hit the instrument panel or hit his head on the canopy, and it snapped his neck. But the plane broke apart after that.
Accident. When you get whiplash, when you snap, it can make you black out.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what happened. And then when he did, he blacked out for a second, and as he was pushing, he was already approaching the speed of sound, and then he went negative G, and that made him black out completely, and he was done. He was done, you guys. Winkle did the same thing. He said he came into a dive. He was diving with the plane, and he said that thing started shuddering, and he just cut back on the throttle. And he said that's exactly how he died, because he almost did it himself. Winkle almost did it himself.
He said his saving grace was him being a little shorter. He didn't, because they found out later Jeffrey de Havilland actually broke his neck, and they think that when he was getting jerked around, he might have hit his head on the canopy, because he was like 6'4", if not taller. So
it's a great documentary, you guys. Look it up. Last time I saw it, it was on Netflix.
Breaking the sound barrier with the British. It
was a great Eric Winkle Brown story. It is a great story. It's one that you guys should all see. If you're into aviation whatsoever, it's definitely a story you guys got to see. I mean, he really was the forefront and test pilot for all British aviation, man. And I think he went all the way up till... I mean, he went through the Hawker Hunter, so he did the Hunter. He was a test pilot on the Hunter, and then what was the jet that came out after the Hunter? I can't think. What was that? Like the one that's shaped like a piece of pizza, man. What is that one called?
I know there was the Buccaneer as well, but I don't know what one you're talking about.
Was it the Sea Vixen?
It might have been the Sea Vixen.
Every time I watch those documentaries, I end up buying a new plane. So I got like 2 sticks from that one. You know?
Yeah, man. I
Just
watched
thinking about
yeah, okay, and then you get up and you have a new plane.
I got 2 of them. I was like, man, I need one of those desert ones, and I need the other one. And next thing you know, I got 2 spit. No more. No, I'm just kidding. I watch them all the time, but
so yeah, man, I was watching a documentary about MiG Alley. 2 weeks later, I had a Saber and a MiG.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. I watched that documentary and then I was like, I wonder if they got a Saber and a MiG RC plane.
Yeah.
And that's when I caught Pilot Ryan's video of his Saber. And then Pilot Mike, or not Pilot Mike, but Captain Mike, his video of his MiG-15, bro. And I was like, I gotta have both of them. And I did. I had them within a week or two of each other.
Man.
We had another PayPal come in. Hold on, guys. Let me see who this is from.
So while you're looking that up, Battle, from what George is saying,
go ahead, bud.
It sounds like the servos they're sending out are higher torque to replace on that Freewing MiG-29 for the elevator.
Timothy Sawyer. Timothy Sawyer, thank you. Go ahead, LJ.
I said, I hope it's fixed by Christmas because I need one. I need one under 3.
The goal is that next month I got to do the L39 project, you guys. So I'm actually putting the Gripen off. I put the MiG-29 off to do the Arma and Fraction. And next month it's got to be the MiG-29, you guys. I mean, I got rid of my beautiful Freewing A10
Just
twin
send me my stuff
A10.
first, Battle.
What's that?
Just send me my stuff first.
Yes.
Because that one's gonna break the bank when you buy it.
I only have 2 more things to send out, you guys. I have the Raptor that I got to send out to Ethan, and I have Eric stuff to send out, and then that's it. Nobody else is buying anything else off me because I'm tired of having to find boxes and shit, dude. It's a pain in the ass. So no more buying anything, Eric. No more buying anything. You're not allowed to buy anything else from me.
You say that now.
It really is hard to find a box, you guys, and the thing about it is I feel bad when I don't get this shit sent out on time because of a freaking box.
I understand though, and it's not a plane I can fly yet though, so it's okay.
Eric, you could fly this thing, bro. I'm telling you right now. I guarantee you that Intruder flies better than some prop planes, man, and easier than some prop planes. That's a really nice plane, guys. If you don't have an Intruder, the reason I'm selling Eric my Intruder is because I'm gonna upgrade to the high performance one. But this Intruder is just a solid plane if you get it set up right. Some people were saying that they added tail weight to it. I didn't have to add any tail weight to mine. I just made sure that the battery was right where Pilot Ryan's was. That thing flew absolutely amazing. Super nice plane, man.
Well, the actual shape of the A6, if you don't screw it up, that plane was designed to fly in some of the worst weather you could fly. So, and Freewing didn't screw the shape up. So,
no, the thing flies incredibly, man. It's got, especially on landings and on takeoffs, it's got such massive flaps that it just kind of just lifts off the ground by itself. You can dead stick that thing coming out of your turn on your final approach. You can dead stick that thing in mid-turn and still come in and just dead stick it all the way in. I've done it several times with that plane. What's that?
Got another super chat.
Mr. Captain Photon, Eric, sending me messages, bro. No, I'm not selling anything.
You say that now.
I know. I say that now, but once I get this stuff sent out, who knows, man? I actually, a guy that's been hanging out with me lately, Tony Sylvia. He's been filming and doing some flights and stuff.
He's a guy you've met at the AMA field, right?
Super nice guy. He's the one that bought my A10 off me, man. Got a hell of a deal, man. I sold him that plane super cheap.
But he was also helping you get that DX9 too.
Yeah, I actually haven't heard anything from Frank. So I don't have contact information for Frank either. So I don't even know how to get a hold of him to give me any goddamn money. And Tony is like not talking to him right now. I don't know why. I guess it's personal, so I don't get involved with that shit. But anyways, Tony wants to buy the F-16 that's up on the wall, the version 2 F-16. I think he might be interested in that one. And I think you were too, Eric, but I don't have to send it off to you. I don't have to send it off if I sell it to him. I don't have to pay for shipping or a box. Even though Eric pays for all of the shipping, you guys, he doesn't stiff me with the shipping, and neither did.
Because I want the money to go back into what you're doing.
And neither did Reckham Roy's, man. Reckham Roy actually came up with half of the shipping costs as well when I shipped his stuff out too. But yeah, guys, I had to make room for that MiG 29. As you guys can see, we're pretty packed in here. And actually, I still have like 4 jets out in the hallway, and then there's a Focke-Wulf, big Focke-Wulf on the couch. Oh, and the C-47. You guys are probably wondering what's going on with that. I just got the ESC. You guys saw the videos. I just got the ESC for that. I just soldered it up, and I'm installing it now, guys. So we'll be doing the maiden flight and product review on the Dynam C-47 tomorrow, you guys. And as you guys can tell by the picture that's down here on the screen, I got the Arma Infraction sitting here with the F-22 Raptor. And so obviously you guys know the Raptor's up and going. I have the landing gear out with the lights on, so it's plugged in. You guys see that? So that's got to tell you that picture right there is giving you a hint on what the next video is going to be. It's going to be pretty special, you guys, and it's going to take some collaboration, and it's going to take some hard work to get the shot right. But once we get the shot right, it's going to look sick. It's going to be epic. It's going to be awesome, and I can't wait to do it. I've already told LJ about it, and I've told Eric about it, but it's going to be probably one of the most epic shots that you guys have seen in an RC video to date, especially on my channel. So if we can get it right and we can pull it off, and my flying skills can be somewhat decent, it's going to be probably one of the most epic things I've ever done on the channel. So you guys keep posted for that, man. It's going to be sick. It's going to be a lot of fun. What's that?
I said, yes. We can do it in Florida.
If I don't accomplish it here, guys, I'll still post the video anyway. Eventually, we will get the shot that I'm looking for here. It's gonna be pretty cool, though. I'm just hoping that if I nail it on the first shot, I would just be so happy. It's gonna, like I said, it's gonna take coordination from me and Kyle and the cameraman. So that's me, my wife, and Kyle. And my wife's really good on the camera, Kyle's pretty decent with the truck. He's getting them.
Guess who LJ's cameraman is? I should say woman.
Oh yeah, it's my wife, man.
Yeah, dude. You have no idea.
She's
my
awesome.
Wife has very steady hands when she's filming. You guys, I know I have a gyro in my camera, so even if she's moving around a lot, it actually still shows you a straight and non-shaky picture. That's just because there's a gyro in the camera that I use, and it allows, even if you're shaking a little bit or moving around too much, it actually stabilizes the video and makes it so that it's not all jumpy with your hand movement. But she does.
You know what it is with the wives though too, right? So they support us in our hobby and stuff like that, right? But for the most part, they don't really care for this stuff, right? For the planes, right? But you get to film they're so interested in watching the plane fly that they lose it with the camera. Yet the wife just follows perfectly because she's just trying to do a good job with the camera.
Exactly. That's my wife too. Like she doesn't really care too much about the hobby. I'll be honest with you guys. She really hates the fact that there's planes in her house. In the living space. She don't mind that they're in here or in my truck.
That's what the room's for.
There, though.
That's what your room's for.
Yeah, well, this is more of like a oversized closet. I mean, there's rappers out there that have closets bigger than this room, guys. I'm telling you, man. If you've seen Patrick Mahomes' video on what his house looks like, his walk-in closet with all his shoes is 2 times bigger than this room. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm privileged to have a place to put my planes. So I'm thankful for that. When we do move out of here and we end up buying a house, I promise you guys I'm going to have a studio some way, shape, or form.
Just remember, Dave, your kids don't have much schooling left, so whatever house you buy, you're going to have some extra room soon.
Hey, my garage.
Garage. Yeah, well, I was actually gonna build a shed outside, but the landlord's like, "Oh, I want to see blueprints," and I'm like,
Damn it.
Too much work.
Shed, bro.
Too much work.
You want me to draw blueprints for a shed? There's going to be no plumbing. There's not going to be any electrical out there.
I could do it for you, but it's too much effort.
I said I probably won't even build the thing. It'll probably already come pre-built, and they'll just drop it off of a trailer. You want me to call them and get the blueprints for you? I mean, I don't know.
As an intern, when I was going to school for engineering, I was drafting, so I could do it, but it's not worth the effort. That's basically them just saying, don't do it in a nice way.
It's a 10 by 10 shed.
And you can buy prefabbed ones, too.
It goes 10 feet that way, and it goes 10 feet that way. That's all you need to know, bro. There's no blueprint to explain that any better than that.
And you can just buy a prefabbed one that would suffice.
That's what I was gonna do. I was actually gonna look at a blueprint if I could build it to the point where I could tear it down. I don't want to nail things together as opposed to I want to bolt things together. That way, when I want to move, I just unbolt. You know what I mean? And take the thing down in sections, and bang, you're out of there. The roof could be one section in twos. You can bolt that together. You can bolt the walls up to one another. You can bolt the floor to the main walls. I mean, it's actually not that hard once you start looking at it. Instead of putting a screw or a nail in, you're putting a through bolt in. That way, when it's time to leave, you take the bolts out, put all your bolts, your hardware in a bag, and then you can move the whole thing in pieces. You know what I mean? So it's not so hard. But that's the way I'm trying to set it up if I do build a shed outside. And I also, instead of having power wired in, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to run an extension cord out there. That's all you really need.
Just remember,
a power strip.
Just remember, Dave, that if you're going to be doing a VA loan, it just takes time. It doesn't mean you won't win. Like when you put an offer on a house that you won't get the house. Just remember, it takes time.
Right, yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, and I've noticed that, and it's not as easy as it looks, man. Because once a house comes on the market, you'll have like 5 people get into a bidding war over it. Oh, well, we really want that. We'll pay you this, and it's like, well, shit, man. He's got it listed for $230,000. That's what I'm gonna pay, $230,000. Well, some chump comes along and says, oh, well, don't worry, we'll pay you $240 for it. We'll give you $235.
Don't buy here right now. I'll tell you that much.
I'm not going to sit here and get into a bidding war over a house that's literally only worth $150,000, but because of the location that it's in, it's worth $100,000 more.
Well, the next couple of months is like time to buy is towards the end of the year, at least here in San Antonio. Because you try to buy in like May, June, July, everybody's trying to get ready for the new school district or whatever, and it becomes a big bidding war on all the housing. They last like a day or two on the market.
So I'm just looking at the chat here, guys. Who is Michael Bolt? Who is Michael Bolton? Are you talking about my bolted shed? Who's Michael Bolton?
Yeah.
The housing market here is so hot, it's unreal. George, here is the same exact thing, man. Like I was just saying, they'll put a house up for $230,000, and there will be so many people wanting that damn house that they'll actually get into a bidding war. And then the person who actually is selling the house, oh, hey, I'll just sit back. Well, you pay $235, oh, I'll pay $240. Oh, you pay $245, I'll pay $250. And they put the house up on market. They're already going to be making money at the $230,000. Now these guys are bidding on the house back and forth.
Dave, Air Marshal is right, though. When you go to do it, he mentioned Veterans United. There's a lender here locally where I'm at in Boise, Idaho, that he's really experienced with them. But if you go with the right person that's dealt with the VA, it can be actually pretty quick. I mean, the house I'm in now, we closed in less than 3 weeks. But it comes down to dealing with somebody that's had to do it before, and a lot, actually.
So what we have Bank of America, and Bank of America is actually set. They're set up to do the whole VA home thing. But we actually found a guy out in South Portland They're a mortgage company. That's just what they do. They just do mortgages and stuff. And they're actually probably one of the best ones in the country, in the state right now. So instead of us going through Bank of America for the VA home loan, which I think would be an absolute nightmare, these guys actually can get it done a little quicker and get things done a little better. And they've proven that to us. There's just some hoops that we have to jump through in order to get to that point. And that's what we're doing. We've jumped through one hoop to find out that we have to jump through another hoop. And it's just kind of discouraging after a while, you guys. And not to mention, I just had to go refinance my truck. My lease was up on the truck, and I just did a lease buyout on it. So now...
Yeah, but you did okay for what that was, because most of the time people get ripped when they return a vehicle for a lease. And Pat, Ryan, that's what I did. We had a mortgage broker that has done a lot of VA loans, and that's why our loan went through really quick.
Yeah, that's so basically, Ryan, what he's saying, the mortgage broker, that's what these guys are. The one that I was telling you about, that's all they do. That's what they are. They're a mortgage broker. That's what they do. But I tell you what, they do have, so when they send stuff, so basically they get all the information together and then they have to send it off to, what do they call that? I can't think of it now. I guess they call them like the writers or something or whatever. They're the ones that actually like write up the loan and decide whether or not your debt to income is good and whether or not you can afford it and whether you can do it. I think they call them the writers. So they send them off. Yeah, they send it off to the writers. Yeah. Their writers are very picky, man. Super, super picky. But as long as you get all your ducks in a row, it could be a quick and painless process. But it just so happens that there's a few things. Like I said, we jump through one hoop just to find ourselves, standing up to jump through another one. So it's been a little tougher on us. That a lot of that is my fault, but a lot of it has to do with the state of Maine. When I applied for disability back in 2009, they should have cut my child support right there, and they should have said, no, he's applying for disability right now, so we're going to stop his child support right now until he gets his disability, and then we'll pick up the payments again. And what happened was nobody from DHS here told me that was an option. So in 2009, when I applied, from 2009 till when I finally got it in 2014 or 2015, 2014 or 2015, when I finally got it, they actually were charging me child support and back child support for all those years when I was filing for disability, which backed up to a lot of money. And that's why the lenders are having a hard time helping us out right now, is because I have a back child support debt that built up over those years. Now, is it fair? Is it fair that when you start, if I was to have called DHS, or if I was to have gotten a hold of the people who were in charge of the child support and let them know, hey, I'm filing for disability, they would have actually stopped the support order until my disability came through and I started getting paid for my disability. Then it would have started back up again. They never told me that was an option. They never even told me that that was something that I could do. So I blame them for not being, upfront and being honest with me. Here I am trying to do the right things. I want to pay my child support. I'm just not in a position where I can. I have no income. And when you file for disability in the state of Maine, if you go to work, that is that's a big no-no. You're filing for disability, you're not supposed to be working. Period. Period. You go to work and you show them that you can work, they're going to be like, oh, no, buddy. You just put some time on the clock there, man. So now we know that you're not that bad. So
we went through that with my dad when he had to have his knee replaced. He got laid off because he couldn't work, and then he went on disability, and if you do have a job and get off, it's even harder to get back on it, even if you're still crippled later.
But anyways, guys, it was really tough, man, because here I am. So my parents are taking care of me the whole time, and you're not even supposed to tell them that. Nobody's supposed to be giving you anything anyway. Well, how am I supposed to live? Okay, so you guys gave me a housing voucher. You guys, you're paying, the town's paying for my rent. Well, when your disability finally goes through, you got to pay the town back all that money. So I had to pay the town back quite a bit of money for the rent that they covered over those years. It wasn't what they put up, but I had to pay a percentage of it. It was quite a bit though. But what should have happened at the same time was my support orders were supposed to have been ceased and then restarted But because that didn't happen, they actually charged me for all those years, which put me in a hole. So lenders, because of that debt to income, even though I have a payment arrangement set up and it gets paid every month, and the child support that's due now is all being paid, and a lot goes to the back child support. What I'm saying is I have a payment arrangement set up. There's still a big chunk of debt there that they have to use towards your debt to income, and that's one of the hoops that we have to jump through. And that's the one that we're finding ourselves having to jump through the most, is because that puts my debt to income like crazy. I make good money, but at the same time, you have this massive child support debt that, yes, we know it's being paid off. Yes, we see that it's being paid off. We see that there's a payment arrangement for it, but they still have to consider that a debt to income, which puts me out of the realm. So there's, like I said, there's one hoop to jump through just to find yourself jumping through another hoop. They're just being thorough. I mean, me and my wife, we're paying out the wazoo for this condo, or whatever you want to call it, apartment. And it's like 30 or 40% more than what we'd be paying for a mortgage. So it's like, listen, guys, if I could pay this for rent every month, and the mortgage is going to be $400 cheaper than that, what makes you guys think that I can't pay that mortgage? You know what I mean? It's a bunch of bullshit is what it is. It really is. It's crazy. Our rent here is like almost $2,000 a month. It's like $1,800 a month, you guys. It is not cheap to live in Maine. So for all you guys that want to move to Maine, don't. It's expensive to live here. It's one of the most expensive states to live in, actually. It's like 18 something a month for rent here.
You know what my mortgage is? And it's
if we were paying a mortgage, yeah, our mortgage would only be like $1,200 a month. $1,300.
You know what my mortgage is on an acre with a 3,000 square foot house, and it's in the city? How much do you think I paid for my house?
Well, because you're in Idaho, I'm gonna say $800 or $900.
If you're looking in the chat, you would have seen it, but we paid $375 for my house on an acre, and with everybody
$375 a month?
No, that's what we paid outright, $375K, but we're paying $2,000.
Oh, okay.
A month.
So you're well, that's because you have you have almost a $500,000 goddamn loan. That's why.
I know, but.
Yeah, but that's a lot of space there. I mean, 3,000.
That's a lot of space. No. That's understandable that you guys pay $2,000 a month. I got a quarter of the space that you got, paying the same amount, and I'm not paying to own it. I'm just paying somebody else's mortgage right now.
Yeah,
it's crazy, man.
But you gotta figure, we have a mother-in-law cottage for my parents too, though. So we went from having a little bit smaller house when they moved in with us to a little bit bigger and with some land. So LJ, with you being in the military, you probably are you buying a house? Are you in the middle of a mortgage right now, or do you just pay rent?
I figure everywhere I stop from now on, I'm just gonna buy a house.
You got
screw it. And have
so you got
hey, one. I'll tell you, the only place I might not get.
So you got a house over in the stand?
So I got one here in San Antonio, and then the one in Orlando I sold because there was good money to make off of it, you know. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna sell it. But then here in San Antonio, like, because it's military town USA, you have 4 bases within a few miles of each other. So there's no point in me selling this house. The best thing for me to do is when I leave here, just rent it out. And then I know all my neighbors, and so I think I'll be all right, you know. And I made real good friends with our realtor when I bought this house. She comes over for like hanging out and all that kind of stuff, kids' birthdays and stuff. So I think I'm set up. I'm just gonna rent this house out and then buy somewhere wherever the heck I go to next.
And then the rent that you get from that place pays your mortgage for the new place.
I don't know if this one will, because you know, the wife we looked at a whole bunch of houses when we first, because we got here and then we rented for a year, and then I decided to buy a house, and my wife and I looked at a ton of houses, and then she picked this house which I love, and I hate it because like I know I'm gonna have to leave this place, and this place is like one of my favorite houses. I've owned 3 houses now. It's probably my favorite out of all of them, you know. And then I did my garage floor, so now I gotta let somebody else enjoy my awesome garage floor.
I can see you right now. You're sitting in your new house, and you're like, God, man, he's enjoying my right now. I can't believe I can't enjoy my floor right now.
Well, I'm telling you, man, I got this floor in the garage. I painted all the walls in here. I've set up all these hangers.
It looks good, man. It looks good. That's what I would like to have eventually one day. Eric's got himself a nice little room where he has his stuff too, man. Got his planes up in the back and stuff. That's what I would like to have one day, man. That's
well,
I mean,
I have 2 girls that are twins, so and they don't like being alone, so I have an extra room or 2 that I can use, and then the other room that's not getting used by my wife because she runs a quilting business, so.
That's right, Eric. Yeah, you and you guys fix sewing machines and stuff too, right?
Well, I since I can't really work with the school situation and my PTSD, I've been trained on how to work on vintage Singer sewing machines. So when someone brings one in, I tune them up and work on them for them.
Oh, not bad.
So JP, I know that you're still active in the military and stuff like that, or however you're doing it now. You must have some type of post-traumatic stress disorder, man. You have to have it.
Well, me?
Yeah. How do you deal with
LJ battle, not JP.
What did I say? JP?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's somebody else I know. LJ. Yeah.
That's
LJ.
why he didn't know you were talking to him.
Oh man. Honestly, if I have it, I don't know. I kind of just, I don't know. You know, when I was out in the reserves, I was doing all my VA stuff, and I was at about 60% without anything else because the chest injury. I have a screw through my left foot. I was airborne, so right off the bat, you can, you know, you get my knees and my ankles are kind of weak, you know. And it doesn't get any better because I love running and stuff like that, so I'm always running and either at the gym or whatever. You know, I like these young come in and they think they can beat me in a PT test, and I'm like,
you're not gonna do that.
I don't think. I'm on the extended scale, bro.
You know, honestly, my last one was like a 290 something, but now we got the new.
That's still really good though. That's still what's your weak point? Push-ups, sit-ups, or run? Well, it's obviously not run.
No, the run actually is because like my max is like in the 13s, and I'm currently doing like 1430s in the 2 mile. So that's my weak spot, you know. But then now they got the new PT test. It's 6 events, you know.
Yep, they're trying to make them more physical. They're revamping everything, Dave.
Because it used to just be free. It used to just be run, push-up, sit-up.
So now you do hand release push-ups. So you go all the way down, you stretch out, you come back. You got 2 minutes to do that. You do a deadlift, right? Minimal is 140 pounds. Score across. There's no more male or female. It's one score across, right? There's a dead hang, like you bring your knees up, so you hang from the thing, and then you come up, bring your knees up. Okay. There's a ball throw. There's you pull a 80-pound or a 90-pound sled. You pull a 90-pound sled, sprint drag carry with like kettlebells, and then we go. Oh, and then there's still a 2 mile run at the end. But now you got 21 minutes to do it. So you could almost walk that 21 minutes in a 2 mile. But there's a lot of people failing it because, the Army hasn't put it completely into place. So it'll come into place not this October, but next October.
They're starting it, but it's not mandatory basically yet.
Running. That was my forte. Was running, man.
Not mine.
That's what I was cross country in high school. I ran track in high school. Long distance running was my thing, man. My first ever time in the military was a 13 flat. That was my first ever 2 mile run.
But you're tall too, right?
Yeah, man. I was just outstriding everybody, man. First sergeant, he came to me. So I had a big ass meal on my plate, right? And first sergeant comes over and looks at me and he's like, "We got to run tomorrow." And I'm like, "Yes, first sergeant." And this is my first one, basic training. And he's like, "You better beat me." And I'm like, "Oh shit." And I know I smelled cigarette smoke coming off of him. I got your ass, bro. You ain't nothing, bro. I'm telling you, man. You smoking a pack of Camels a day, bro. I'm gonna run circles around you. And sure enough, I did, man. I think his time was like a 15:30 something. And that's actually pretty good for a 55, 56-year-old first sergeant, and smoking a pack of Camels a day. That was actually pretty good. But the only kid that actually beat me was this kid from Somalia. He actually came over on that exchange thing. You know how they do that? They bring in
become citizens and stuff.
Yeah, right, exactly. And that dude ran like an 11:33. I mean, he was blazing in front of me, man. I was like, you got to be kidding me, man.
I was happy to get a 15-minute, and I'm not a runner.
My best time was an 11:57. That was my best time ever on the 2-mile run, was 11:57. And that was when I was in peak shape at the end of AIT, the very next summer when I went back to AIT. I was in peak shape, man. And that was the best time I ever put in, was an 11:57, man. But usually I was under 13 minutes, so I always got 100 on that. My weak point was my push-ups, because I was real heavy. I was heavy, and it took me actually dropping down to, what was that, 175? So I'm 6'4", but it took me getting down to like 175 pounds before I could actually do the 65 push-ups that you needed for 300 for my age. So I had to do like 65 push-ups in order to max it out. Finally, I was able to do it once I got my weight down. And the way I got my weight down was by eating right and running. So, I mean, you guys, that's the key. You guys want to lose weight? Run. I'm telling you.
Or go in the Army or the Marines.
Yep, I'm telling you, right? Eating right. You know what helps is eating the same thing every day. Like for breakfast, I would eat egg whites and Special K cereal. And for lunch, I would have a cheeseburger. And then I would usually not eat dinner. And I did that the entire time through AIT, man. And I went from 225 pounds as a senior in high school all the way down to 165 pounds by the time basic training in AIT, or
and
by the time
basically just bone and muscle at that point. That's the way I was when I got out of boot camp in Fort Lost in the Woods. Yeah, I was just skin and bones.
Good old
I gained weight in basic training because we didn't do a lot of running in basic for whatever reason. I don't know. We didn't do a lot of running.
Even though we couldn't do anything else because it was the worst winter they had in over 100 years, we still went and ran. I mean, it was below zero with 2 feet of snow, and we still ran and did all of our PT.
I think the reason that they didn't run as much, why we didn't run a lot in basic training, was because I was in Fort Jackson, South Carolina, and they have those hot days where they put up the yellow flag, the black flag,
red and yellow flag and black flag.
And I was there in what was that? That was April, May, and June, right? So April, May, and June, or April, May, and June. I was there, and those are like hot months for Fort Jackson, and we were black flag days most of the time. So basically, we didn't have to do a lot of running because of that. But we did do a lot of push-ups and sit-ups, and lots of fun in the volleyball court, the sand pit. We had a lot of fun there. I remember me and my buddy, right? So I'll never forget it. Drill Sergeant Dingle. Drill Sergeant Dingle was the craziest son of a bitch I ever met in my life, man. He's a drill sergeant I will never forget. Drill Sergeant Dingle, me and my buddy, smoking a cigarette out the window. Goddamn, no, we weren't supposed to be smoking a cigarette in basic training. We're smoking a cigarette out the window. Here comes Drill Sergeant Dingle rappelling down the side of the wall from the top of the roof. He rappels into the window because they have these big, like, 4-foot openings, right? These windows. He come flying in between us, and he's like, put that shit out. Bro, he came down off a rope. He rappelled down and went into the window. He flew, like, came into the window like commando style. And he said, put that shit out. No trouble. We didn't get smoked. Nothing. He said, just put that shit out. Right out the window it went. You know, and then he's like, now you're going to go down there and pick that up before I get you for littering. I said, put it out. I didn't say throw it out the window. So we're running down the stairs. It's like 12 o'clock at night. We're running down the stairs going out there trying to find a cigarette butt in the grass. But, yeah, man, Drill Sergeant Dingle, probably one of the most craziest son of a bitches I've ever met in my life.
Well, you have to be a special kind of crazy to be a drill sergeant. And they actually have to take them off. They have to move. They have to be temporarily, every now and again, pulled from that because it will make you go crazy.
The funny thing about it is he wasn't even in a rappelling harness. He was just roping with his hands down the side of the building. Just his hands. He wasn't. actually roped off in a rappelling harness or anything. He didn't have it around his waist or anything. This son of a bitch just straight coming down the side of the building with a rope in his hands like that, a knotted rope. I'm like, what is that? Does he have the thing? Because we started asking questions, me and my buddy. We started asking questions between one another. We didn't ask Drill Sergeant Dingle because we didn't want to open up any kind of bitches or any kind of worms. We just wanted to leave it alone and not mention it ever again. Because if Drill Sergeant Thompson would have found out that we were out there smoking, that would have been the end of it. Or Etheridge. Oh my God, Drill Sergeant Etheridge. The most annoying voice you've ever heard in your life, guys. Oh my God, he was a new Drill Sergeant that just came in. But anyways, yeah, man. We're just trying to figure out, does he have like a rope tied off there at all times? How many times has he done this in the past? We just kept asking, like, wow, man. So finally, during graduation, we asked him, do you have a rope just tied off to the roof up there? He's like, yep. You just have a rope up there, it's just coiled up? And he's like, yep, nicely, neatly coiled up. I was like, do you have any kids, Drill Sergeant Dingle? He's like, no, I don't have any carpet warriors. He's like, do I look like I have kids? Do I look like I have kids? No, man. No, you don't look like you have kids, Drill Sergeant Dingle, and you shouldn't have kids. They'll be rappelling off the side of the house. Yeah, Drill Sergeant Dingle was awesome, man. Probably one of my favorite people ever, man.
I know all three of us could chat the rest of the night, but we're going on almost 2 hours, Dave.
Say it ain't so, Eric. Say it ain't so.
So,
we got 31 people in here too. So sorry guys. Unfortunately, when Eric runs the stream, I can't see the time. So actually, I can see it up there. How can I see that? That's the.
Dave, I was thinking though, since it went so well tonight with LJ, that if you ever wanted to come back, you could always come back.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime, LJ, dude. Yeah, dude. LJ, man. I didn't realize. I mean, I've seen your profile, I've seen your channel and stuff, but I didn't realize that you were still active in the military and shit, man. I knew you were military. I didn't know that you were still active and shit, man. That's cool, man. That's cool. So you're almost retired, bro. You got a couple years. You're done, bro.
You know what it is though? That reserve time kills me. So I have.
That's half the time.
Well, I'm in 18 years total because I did a lot of active duty time in between there, right? But I only have 12 years for like retirement. So technically, I'll end up being in the military like 27 years before I actually get to fully retire.
Yeah.
But at this point, I'm an E7. I can do another 8 years of this. I'm getting my look for E8 next month, so I don't think I'll get picked up first look, but I might get picked up by like my second look. So E8 for like 5.
E8, what? You're gonna be a master sergeant, bro. That's sick, man. So you're a platoon sergeant right now, huh? You're
actually, like I was telling Eric earlier that I work with a whole bunch of E7s, and so it's like 20-something E7s and like a couple of E6s and a bunch of Chiefs. So I'm still as an E7, you know. I only in charge when I'm teaching classes, you know. It's only
so it's not like your standard, you know, platoon where you got your staff sergeant. Yeah, it's not like So you're actually working with a bunch of other NCOs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my section is me and an E6. That's my section. He's my soldier. That's it. And we just handle everything together. Which in a way it's a lot better because I'm dealing with just an E6 and me. So it's cake. I mean, I just wrote.
You guys are on the same level anyway. Yeah, that's cool, man. See, I guess I didn't spend enough time in the military to understand that things can be structured that way. That's pretty cool though.
Oh yeah, like my last gig, I was my E6 was a Navy guy. Me and him have become best friends. We talk all the time. He actually just went through Marine OCS. He transferred from the Navy to the Marines. And that's one of my best buddies. He's out there at Camp Lejeune right now.
Nice. Yeah. Nice, dude. Nice. Wait, so quick before you do that, I know that when you go from reserve to active duty, they like to take a rank away from you. Did they do that to you?
No, because I'm intel, so they kind of told me, hey,
that's where he lucked out. That's where he lucked out. Had I gone active, it would have been the same for me too, because active duty is really hurting for intel, no matter what it is. So I was intel as well, but I was a drone operator. So active duty is hurting. There's really high turnover because once you get some experience, you can go get a job making 100,000 plus. You might have to be overseas.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I got you. Okay. All right, man. Yeah. That's cool, man. That's cool. Well, hey, man. Congratulations on your career, man. That's awesome, man. It seems like you're doing well for yourself. I can't wait to meet your ass, man.
Man, Florida, I'm telling you, I already know the life I'm going.
That's when the weather in Florida is nice too, by the way.
And I've asked my wife if she could take the time off then, but she doesn't actually get vacation until after the first of the year. So she doesn't think that she'll be able to. I still got plenty of time. We got 2 months. I'm trying to convince her. She really doesn't want to take the time off of work and miss out on the work and stuff like that. I might be coming down there alone, but I sure as hell would love to have my wife come down with me, man. So it might just be me, but I've already made too many promises that I'll be there. And there's too many people expecting me to be there. So I'm definitely going to be there, whether or not my wife comes or not. But I would rather have my wife come with me, especially in the fact that we could split driving time, man. We could make it just one haul without any stops. If I drive half and she drives half, or vice versa, rather than me having to drive the whole way myself, because I know I'll have to stop and sleep at least a few hours, anyways. But yeah, I've made too many promises that I'm going down there, man. Not to mention, me and James have a collab video that we're doing with these L39s. So yeah, man, I'm kind of like I have to be there, you know. Don't have to, but should be.
Bro, I asked that question. Yeah, for the most part, I was in the 153rd Infantry Brigade when I was in Tampa, and then I was in Detachment 6 CENTCOM ARE when I was in Orlando. And then now I don't really deploy. I just I get units ready for deploy because my other half of my job is I'm an observer, coach, and trainer. So all these units deploying, they call me up, and then I come and certify their that section that I work with. And so I just come in and I give them like their little sheet. It's make sure that they're good to go. If they're deficient anywhere, then I send them back. I do some rounds at Fort Irwin sometimes. I have to go to see. Luckily, this whole COVID thing sucks, man, but at the same token, it's kind of helped me out because I was supposed to do a bunch of crap this year where I was going to be all over the U.S. and all of a sudden they were like, "Well, no more flying." But I was going to be up by you, not in Maine, but like I go up to New Jersey, and then I was supposed to be up in Boston for almost 2 months, and that got canceled out. And then I was supposed to be up in D.C. for like a month. And I was like, oh, man, I hate this whole COVID thing. But at the same token, great. I didn't want to go none of those places, man. I was trying to hang out.
No, that's cool, man. Hey, if you're ever up this way, let me know, man, because I'm literally like only like an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours out of Boston, man. Actually, wait a minute. It's what is it? Like an hour drive to Boston? I think I'm like literally like an hour or 2 hours away from Boston. It only takes me a couple hours to get to Boston, I think.
So remember where Fort Devens used to be at?
Yep.
Okay, so that's where I normally go, up to Fort Devens.
Okay, so yeah, that's literally right outside of Boston. That's actually not that far outside of Boston. That's south of Boston, isn't it?
It's like towards like the east. Yeah.
Okay, so east. All right.
Oh, west. Sorry. West.
Yeah, I was gonna say to the west of Boston. Yeah, you can't go any further east of Boston.
No, yeah,
unless you're in the Navy. Unless you're in the Navy or Coast Guard.
Yeah, with RC Air Marshal, you know.
Unless you're the Air Marshal, that's right, out there in his damn submarine, launching nukes at Dave's RC.
Well, you guys will have to have fun down in Florida, because I had to get my trip in before school started, because at a wedding I was going to that got canceled, and my tickets had to be used before the end of the year, so you guys will just have to have fun down there.
I wish Eric could go, man. I'm so, like, I talk to Eric every day, man. Eric is a true friend, man. I would love to finally meet Eric in person, even though I kind of like do. We Skype all the time. But it would be really nice to be able to meet Eric in person, man. All the stuff that he's done for him, I'd just like to shake the guy's hand and just tell him thank you in person, man, because he does a lot for the channel. He does a lot for you guys. You know, he's keeping up with the comments right now. The comments are behind for me, but they're right on point for him. So when I see the comments, it's literally, you know, 12 to 13 seconds, 14 seconds behind sometimes. So yeah, man, he's always keeping up. He's always been my lead moderator on the channel since he's taken that job. He does the job well, and yeah, man, Eric's awesome. I'd definitely like to meet Eric in person at some point in time.
Before you do your spill real quick, if you guys are still awake when we're done with Dave's show and having LJ Hobby here with us tonight, Air Marshal's doing his Friday night Zoom meeting, so it's the link's in the chat. So if you're a night out,
trying to copy right now.
Stop by. They have a blast. I don't sleep, but I'm fast approaching the point where I can't think logically. So if any of you are night owls, check out that Zoom meeting with Air Marshal. I hear it's a blast.
And I'll give you guys my number, so if you guys want to like text and stuff, whatever, I'm always quick. Boom, you know.
Okay. So yeah. You LJ, you have Messenger, right?
Which one? Yeah, I got the Skype Messenger now because
that's what. Okay, so Skype. Yeah, I'll give you my phone number and Skype. And you track Eric's number and Skype.
When we're done here and you hang up, I can just stay on with him long enough and give it to him if you want me to.
Yep, do that, man. Yeah, because I'm probably gonna join in this Zoom call with Dave and them and stuff and see how they're all doing and stuff. But yeah, guys, let me go ahead and go through my spiel. First off, I just want to say thank you to LJ Hobby for being here tonight. Straight up awesome dude. I think I learned a lot about him tonight, man. I have a better understanding of who he is and a better appreciation for who he is now. That's always cool to actually do. That's why I wanted to do this in the first place, was to get to know the community and to also get their channels promoted as well, so that they can. So they can help build their YouTube channel as well.
People out there.
Huge thank you to you, LJ. Thank you so much, man. Eric, obviously, thank you to you, man. Without you, this doesn't happen the way it does right now. So yeah, guys, tomorrow night we got Mr. Hanger Rat himself, King Rat himself, Pilot Ryan, the Hanger Rats, Pilot's Lounge, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, guys. Merry Boozers, 8 p.m. on Sunday, you guys. Dave Marshall, Air Marshall Mondays, 8 p.m. What else happens on Monday? Oh, that's right, 10:15, you guys.
Mr.
Right after
Fiery
Dave Marshall
Booty himself.
That's right. You got Mr. Ray Fiery Booty himself. You guys, make sure you guys check him out. On Tuesdays, you got Flight Club. You guys, awesome. Dustin and Jeff are absolutely awesome.
They alternate who's hosting. 1 week it's Jeff, 1 week it's Dustin. And when I say Jeff, I should say Tara, because Tara's the driving force behind Jeff.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's such a sweetheart. Jeff's wife is such a sweetheart, man. So just what an awesome lady, man. Just a really, really stand-up gal. And then on Wednesdays, you guys, we got, if it's not Ethan, you got Hamilton's Hangar before GB starting at 9 p.m. You guys, make sure you guys check out Hamilton's Hangar. I missed his damn show again. It's taken me a minute to figure out that he's doing it on Wednesdays now. I have to write it down. Usually that's what I had to do for Ethan to write. I wrote it down before I started going in and checking Ethan's show out. You guys, then GB comes on after Hamilton or Ethan. On Thursdays, you guys, you got Mr. Kenny, the bus driver, the kid puncher, the nun slapper. Love Kenny to death, man. Hope everything went well with the T-33, bro. I hope they're going to send you out a new airframe at least. And then on Friday, you guys, Motion RC kicks off at 12 p.m.
Eastern.
12 p.m. Eastern time, guys. Their show runs for about an hour and a half. Their shows have been awesome lately. It's been about the Griffin, the MiG-29. Super awesome hanging out with James in there and Alpha. Then Farmer Man Roas starts around 6 to 7 o'clock, right before I start my stream, guys. And then right back here at 9 p.m. for my show. We started a little late tonight because I was doing some work on my wife's truck, and I had to go get cleaned up and get myself situated.
Because I wasn't trying to put the fork in you to get you moving either.
He was. I mean, I heard my phone going off several times while I was in the bathroom trying to get myself cleaned up and get ready for the show. So we started a little late tonight. But that's usually what I do anyways. Between 9 and 9:15 is my start time, you guys.
But I'm trying to keep him a little more regular, you guys.
He is. He's keeping me good, as you guys can see tonight. Did we do an F-bomb tonight?
I haven't heard a single one.
No F-bombs tonight, dude. Should I just lay one out there right now?
Yeah, no.
All of it? I'm just gonna say it. With the whole show without an F-bomb, bro. I owe nothing. I owe nothing to you people. No, I love every one of you guys. Thank you guys for showing up tonight. Huge emojis for LJ in the chat, you guys. Super awesome guy, soldier. Love it, man. I can't wait to have you on the show again, LJ. This was awesome, man. Eric, LJ, you guys have a wonderful night. If you guys don't have anything, we're gonna get up out of here.
All right, bro.
5, 4.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, always,
Eric,
buddy.
Dave's RC. We're out of here, guys. Fly for your die, guys. Peace.